Okay, Hebrews, my brothers and sisters, we're going to get right into the lesson, and we're starting off with prayer. And that means talking to your Father with an open and honest heart, letting him know the things you can do, the things you can't do, the things you need help with, the things you need his strength for, the things you need to be removed out of your life, anything and everything. But you cannot love sin. Some people don't know what sin is. Sin is a transgression of the law. So it's important to know what the law is so you can stop sinning. For this teaching, we're going to pray that everybody honestly wants to stop sinning. That is not your heart's desire to do that. But if it is, and you want to continue in sin, then the Father cannot hear your prayer, and it's like you talking to yourself. We're going to look at the book of Psalms. Psalm 66, verses 16 through 20. The book of Psalms 66, verse 16 through 20, and it reads, Come and hear, all ye that fear Elohim, and I will declare that he hath done for my soul. I cried unto him with my mouth, and he was exalted with my tongue. If I regard iniquity in my heart, Yah will not hear me. But verily Elohim hath heard me. He hath attended to my voice of my prayer. Blessed be Elohim, which hath not turned away my prayer, nor his mercy from me. So when we're praying, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, you can't want to have the lust and fornication in your heart, that you'll continue down this path in the case of health that has made you sick, in the pace of your marriage that's caused you to be in an adulterous relationship. You need to repent from those things and truly ask the Father for his guidance. Now we see the same thing in 1 John. 1 John chapter 1, we're going to start at verse 5. 1 John chapter 1, verse 5, and it reads, This is the message which we have heard from him and declare to you, that Yah is light, and in him is no darkness at all. If we say that we have fellowship with him and walk in darkness, we lie and do not practice the truth. But if we walk in the light as he is in the light, we have fellowship with one another. And the blood of Yeshua the Messiah, his son, cleanses us from all sin. If we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us. If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins, to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. If we say that we have not sinned, we make him a liar, and his words is not in us. So this prayer that we're talking about, talking to the Father, is to get our mental right, to get our spirit right. Because if we don't have that on one accord, we cannot defeat the flesh. And that's what we're battling with, our lusts, our desires, our temptations. So we must clean out this. So if we're cleaning out something, then there's a difference between what is clean and what is unclean. Now you'll get many Christians and people that twist a word, and they'll tell you there's no such thing as clean and unclean. So why are you praying for that? But again, we see diabetes, cancer, all these different pestilences in our lives because we are constantly mixing the clean with the unclean. But this is a simple thing. So we'll look at the New Testament. And we're at 1 Peter 1, and we're going to read just verse 15 and 16 there. 1 Peter 1, 15 and 16. And it reads, "But just as Yah, who called us, is holy, so be holy in all you do. For it is written, be holy because I am holy." So Ani Hayah, which means I, the set apart one of Israel. I am that I am. He says that he is holy. But Peter is quoting this from the what we will call the Old Testament. But the people that go into teaching every Sunday will tell you that you're not underneath no more. But he's quoting this to be holy, to be set apart, to be living a different lifestyle. So we look in Leviticus chapter 11, verse 44 and 45. Leviticus 11, verses 44 and 45. And that reads, "For I am the Lord your God. Concentrate yourselves, therefore, and be holy, for I am holy. And ye shall not make yourselves unclean with any of the swarming things that swarm on the earth. For I am the Lord who brought you up from the land of Egypt to be your God. Thus ye shall be holy, for I am holy." So Peter's quoting this directly out of the Old Testament. We have a second witness from Shaul, who we call Paul. When he was talking to Timothy, he says, pray over your food, what the word of God has sanctified. So we see these things that they're quoting. And again, in Leviticus 11, it tells you that all these things that he put in the dietary law are the clean and the unclean. And then he tells you to sanctify yourself. So they're not making up a different word from the Creator. They're just quoting it. Romans 7, Paul tells you that he's not even talking to you unless you understand the law. So if someone's not even teaching the law, how can they be teaching the word of the Most High? So we got to make a difference between what is clean and what is unclean. The Father tells us that even a little leaven ruins a whole lump. So if we go to this teaching and we learn that milk thistle, cinnamon, garlic, licorice, dandelion root, all these things help with diabetes, water, but you're mixing in a slice of chocolate cake every day or 3 times a week with the things that you're mixing with clean, then eventually everything is going to be unclean. So again, we have to be changed with a renewing of our mind on this walk of healing. We can't mix the clean with the unclean. We see that in Leviticus 19, when he tells them that speak to all the congregation of the sons of Israel and say to them, "You shall be holy, for the Lord your God, your Elohim, he is holy." So when we're looking at these things, and we're going to touch on Isaiah 35:8, these are things that he's put upon us, and these are things we need to be praying for. We're also going to look at Ezekiel 44. Ezekiel 44, verse 23. And that reads, "Moreover, they shall teach my people the difference between the holy and the profane, and cause them to discern between the unclean and the clean." So again, he says, I am holy, so therefore be holy. He taught the prophet Ezekiel that we need to be teaching the difference between the holy, what it makes us set apart and what makes us different, versus the things that are unclean that makes us like all the other nations. So again, part of this teaching is to change your mind. Leviticus chapter 10, verse 10, and that reads, "And so to make a distinction between the holy and the profane, and between the unclean and the clean." We are on a mission as we're talking to the Father to repent. And that means to return back to his laws, statutes, and commandments. He tells us in Ezekiel 22, verse 26, and he says, her priests have done violence to my law and profaned my holy things. They have made no distinction between the holy and the profane, and they have not taught the difference between the unclean and the clean, and they hide their eyes from my Sabbaths and profane among them. So again, this body, this is a temple where the Most High is supposed to dwell. So if you're feeding this temple with narcotics, if you're feeding this temple with pharmacology, pharmakia, with things that cloud your mind, or if you're just feeding it with white sugar or wayward women or wayward men, you're doing violence to your own body, to your temple where the Most High is dwelling in. So he cannot hear your prayer because you're too busy doing harm to it. So I hope we understand that. We're going to look at Isaiah 35. Isaiah 35 Isaiah 35. We're going to start at verse 3. So while we're praying to the Most High, this is another step. We're going to need some strength on this walk. So let's read what the prophet says. Isaiah 35 verse 3. And it reads, strengthen ye the weak hands, and confirm the feeble knees. Say to them that are of fearful heart, be strong, fear not. Behold, your Elohim will come with vengeance, even Elohim with recompense. He will come and save you. Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, and the ears of the deaf shall be unstopped. Then shall the lame man leap as an hart, and the tongue of the dumb sing. For in the wilderness shall waters break out in the streams in the desert. And the parched ground shall become a pool, and the thirsty land springs of water, and the habitation of dragons. Where each lay shall be grass with reeds and rushes. And a highway shall be there, in a way, and it shall be called the way of holiness. The unclean shall not pass over it, but it shall be for those, the wayfaring man. Though fool shall not err therein. No lion shall be there, nor any ravenous beast shall go up thereon. It shall not be found there. But the redeemed shall walk there, and the ransom of Yah shall return, and come to Zion with songs and everlasting joy upon their heads. They shall obtain joy and gladness, and sorrow and sighing shall flee away. So when we're on this walk of holiness, while we're talking to the Father, he's going to keep us safe. See, if you have a problem with diabetes, Burger King, McDonald's, Applebee's, and all these other poisons are not going to be on the same path. They won't be on the same highway. If you're praying for your marriage, the adulterous man, the adulterous women, the things, the bars, whatever may be the case, are not going to be on the same path with you. This is the part of the prayer that we need to do. Again, we need to be changed with a renewing of our mind. These are the things we need to be praying for. The strength. So as we ending up with prayer, then we're going to move on to fasting. So I hope we got a good understanding of the things we need to be praying for, the things that we need to be saying to our Father, and we need to be praying these things in faith. Daniel 9:18. And it says, we do not make requests of you because we are righteous, but because of your great mercy. See, once we recognize what sin is, Once we recognize we have a sinful heart and we have lusts and desires that take us away from the Father, that's destroying our temple, destroying our lives, then we understand that it wasn't because we're so great that we made it to this day that we're living in, or we talking to each other right now. It's because of his great mercy that he has spared us from the things that are going on. So we tell him thanks in our prayer now, that you've given me another day, that you've heard my voice, that you've heard what I said when I wake up. And again, you'll see that in Psalms 5:3. We continue with praying to the Father because we have all faith and confidence. We have all belief that he will hear us. The prayer of a righteous man availeth much. So John said in 1 John 5:14, this is the confidence we have in approaching Yah, that if we ask anything according to his will, he will hear us. See, the Father's will is that he doesn't want anyone to die or pass away, not into their sins, not into their iniquity. His prayer for us is that we all come to repentance. So this is a part of his will and his way. So if you're asking for these things to be removed from you so you can be healed, again, this is part of the Father's will and his way. So now let's look at what it means to fast, because there's different ways of fasting, and we're going to approach all those things. So all praises to the Most High, and understand your prayer, if you're walking in righteousness, is powerful and effective. James 5:16. Let's move on to fasting. Shalom. Hebrews. This is part 2. And this is going to be somewhat of a long video. So I'm going to name the parts and I'm going to put them in the description, because on some part we're just going to focus on things that will give healing towards diabetes. First part was on prayer. Second part right here is going to be on fasting. And I put it in this order because without prayer and fasting, it's going to be very hard, let's put it this way, to conquer that spirit that was in you that's causing you to destroy your temple. So the Most High tells us, Yeshua, Jesus, and whatever tongue you want to say his name in, he tells us some things cannot be accomplished without prayer and fasting. So with that being said, we're going into the Word, and we're going to look at fasting. So when we look at fasting, there are different types of fasting in the Word. There's not one type fits all. It could be fasting for the particular occasion. It'd be fasting for relief, or for you seeking the face of the Most High, so on and so forth. One of the fasts we have, as we will say, our Messiah, he fasted 40 days and 40 nights. Moses did the same day of fast for 40 days and 40 nights. We also have what we will say a fast for fruits and vegetables, or fast for just vegetables. You got vegetables, you got waters. You stay away from eating all types of meats. You stay away from eating those cakes and treats and stuff like that. We see that in the book of Daniel, chapter 10, and the book of Daniel, chapter 1. For example, Daniel 10, verse 2 and 3, it says, "In those days Daniel was mourning for 3 weeks. I ate no delicacies, no meat or wine entered my mouth, nor did I anoint myself at all for the full 3 weeks." So that's a fast. Some people actually still call that a Daniel fast. Daniel chapter 1, and this is something that Hebrews, especially if you have diabetes and stuff of this nature, you could do this right now. James 1:12 says that test your servant for 10 days. Let us be given vegetables to eat and water to drink. So in this one, he just ate vegetables and water. And he compared it to the king's meat. So what would be the king's meat today? We got the Food and Drug Administration. We got the stuff they put into the, again, don't get me wrong, turkey's a clean meat, but the stuff they put inside your turkeys, your chicken, some stuff should go without question, like swine. You shouldn't be worrying about eating any swine whatsoever if you're being righteous. So we're talking about the king's meats. So these are things you can refrain from and just eat vegetables and water. And again, those kind of things will help you with diabetes all the way too. So that's a Daniel fast. Then we have things where we have a full fast. And we see that in the book of Esther as well as the book of Acts. And these things, repentance, straight up repentance, trying to get to the Most High. There's no meat, there's no drink, there's no water, there's no vegetables, there's no fruit, there is nada. Only thing you have is some prayer and straight up fasting. So one place we see this is in Acts chapter 9, verse 9. And this is our brother Saul, or who we call Paul, his conversion name. And Acts 9:9 says, and for 3 days he was without sight and neither ate nor drank. First of all, he could have been scared to death. He done found out the people he persecuted loved the Most High, and the Most High loved them. So, that could definitely put you in some turmoil, that the God of Israel wants to do some harm to you. You asking for prayer and forgiveness. We see the same thing in the book of Esther, chapter 4, and that's verse 15 and 16. So Esther 4, 15 and 16. And then Esther, it reads, then Esther told them to reply to Mordecai, go gather all the Jews to be found in Susa, and hold a fast on my behalf, and do not eat or drink for 3 days, nights, or day. I and my young women will also fast, you do. Then I will go to the king, though it is against the law, and if I perish, I perish. So again, this was a thing that she was calling out to the Most High as well. If anybody don't know the story of what we're talking about in Esther, they wanted to kill all the Jews. And she was married to the king, and she was going to go on our behalf to point out who wanted to kill us was actually evil and wasn't doing the bidding for the king. He wasn't doing a righteous thing. But she already seen one of his wives, because the king had multiple wives, get killed for breaking, as she put it, the law of how you're supposed to come to him. So she wanted people to fast for her, and she was fasting so she could help bring deliverance to the people that was going to get killed for no just cause, but also she wouldn't die and actually have a voice to speak to the king. So she fasted. So these are the fasts. The one that's easiest for me, I did it for 3.5 days, is just no food, just water. And again, I suffered from what they will call diabetes. It's just a pestilence. It's the things that the Most High told us will be around us in the last days. So I suffered for that thing. And anybody know anything about diabetes? I was peeing every 30 to 45 minutes. Past 25, 30 times a day I was urinating. My eyes were twitching out of control. Vision was somewhat suspect, but not bad, but it was somewhat suspect. After my 3.5 day fast with just water, my urination went down to about every 4 to 5 hours I was peeing, and the vision returned back to normal. And that's without I don't take any insulins, I don't take no pharmacia. My faith is in the Most High. So with that being said, we'll also go through some of the herbs and stuff I take, stuff from the earth. But that shows you the power of the fast that corrected that diabetes in that quick of a time, 3.5 days. So now we're going to look at how we're supposed to fast. First of all, you got to be humble. It's the way you present yourself in front of the Most High. And again, this is stuff that's addressed in the Word as well. You have those that fast that want to be seen of men. You know, woe is me. They look dark and gloomy. You ask them what's wrong. Oh, I'm fasting. My stomach growling. I'm doing this because I'm righteous and I want the Lord to see me. So that is out of pocket and out of order. So we see that teaching in Matthew chapter 6, verse 16 through 18. And the Messiah teaches us, and this is how it reads, and when you fast, do not look gloomy like the hypocrites, for they disfigure their faces, that their fasting may be seen by others. Truly I say to you, that they have received their reward. But when you fast, anoint your head, wash your face, that your fasting may not be seen by others, but by your Father who is in secret. And your Father who sees you in secret will reward you. Now, does this mean that you're never supposed to tell nobody you're fasting? No, it don't. Does this mean that that only time you fast is something that's done privately? No, it's not. We have the Day of Atonement that we do fast. There's things that we're supposed to teach others on how to fast. But this is the spirit that you're walking in when you're fasting. I ain't supposed to be acting like I'm dying because I'm fasting. A brother and sister could ask me, hey, what's going on? How you treating your life? How you doing with diabetes? How you doing in cancer? You can tell them, I'm fasting to get this uncleanness, impurity out of me. But you ain't supposed to be looking like, woe is me. This is the spirit. You're supposed to be coming humbly to the Father and say the reason why I'm fasting because I know He's faithful to reward His servants. And this is a part of you cutting out that flesh so He can reward that spirit. Now, we can fast to overcome addictions. Because some of us are addicted to table sugar. Some are addicted to cocaine. Some are addicted to heroin. Some are addicted to alcohol. We have all sorts of addictions that we are addicted to. So we can definitely fast to stop our addictions. So we look in the book of Isaiah 58, and we're going to read verses 3 to 7. And it reads, why have we fasted, and you see it not? Why have we humbled ourselves, and you take no knowledge of it? Behold, in the day of your fast, you seek your own pleasures, and oppress all your workers. Behold, you fast only to quarrel, and to fight, and to hit with a wicked fist. Fasting like yours this day will not make your voice to be heard on high. Is such the fast that I choose, a day for a person to humble himself? Is it to bow down his head like a reed, and to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Will you call this a fast, and a day acceptable to the Lord? Is not this the fast that I choose, to loose the bonds of wickedness, to undo the straps of the yoke, to let your oppressed go free, and to break every yoke? Is it not to share your bread with the hungry and bring the homeless poor into your house? When you see the naked, to cover him and not to hide yourself from your own flesh. So, you got some, because of their addiction, will be all puffed up that they haven't ate, they haven't done this because they spent it all on booze, or they spent it all on women, or they spent it all on drugs, or they spent it all on cupcakes and annihilators. And then it calls them to brawl and to fight and to do wickedness. But the Most High is causing you to fast so you could break those bonds of oppression, that you could break that thing that has a hold on you that stops you from serving the Father. So, again, Luke 18, it tells you, again, we're not fasting so we can be seen of men. We're not doing this thing so we can be puffed up. The things we're doing is to bring glory to our King. So, one of the last ones I'm going to do, we're going to look at 2 Samuel chapter 12. I think I'm just going to break this down. And if you haven't read Samuel, the second book of Samuel, chapter 12, it's a real good read. I'm just going to break it down. And I think I might read some of the word there, but it starts off with King David. And King David was sent to him a prophet, and the prophet's name was Nathan. And he's breaking down a story or a parable, something that King David can see. And he tells King David there was a person that had, one little elam, one lamb. That's it. He didn't have no great multitude of things. He had this one thing. But there was another man that had multitudes. I mean, he had so many. But he went out of his way to take this one elam from this man. Now, when King David heard this breaking down to him the way it was going down, he was like, this man deserves to die. This rich man that took this one thing from this one man. He deserves to die. And then Nathan told him that you art that man. That Yah, the Elohim of Israel, anointed you king over all of Israel. Delivered you out the hands of Saul, who wanted to kill you. Would have gave you everything. Has given you multiple women, wives in your lives, giving you a kingdom to raise over. But what you did to Uriah, you had him murdered so you could take his wife, Bathsheba, and now she's pregnant with your child. And for this, you deserve to die. But the Most High served him grace and mercy, and he didn't die for this. So when we start looking at that, King David repented. A man after the Most High's own heart. I mean, he repented, and that means he didn't go to adultery over another man's wife. Wouldn't do the same sins he did for Uriah, even though he was king. And again, that's a hard thing for people to understand. When you're a king of a nation, killing somebody is quite simple. Just by you speaking some words. You can say something like, I hope I never see that boy again. And his sake could be filled. So, he repented from that. But he didn't want that baby to die. He didn't want that baby to die. Because the Most High told him that, that baby's going to be stricken because of what you did. The sins against Yah. And Nathan said that to David, and he says, you shall put away the sins that you should not die. But because the deed that you've done, and blasphemy that you've done, the child that has been born shall surely die. So that he said, you're not going to die, but that child you made out of that lust and fornication, and again, think about this, Selah. You see that in the book of Psalms a lot, Selah. It means to think about that. Now, that baby was born out of lust and fornication and wickedness, but they want to tell you that our Messiah was born in the same way. Think about it, Selah. So going back to the story, so the child was sick. Man, David fasted for 7 days. Already repented. Asking the Most High for mercy. Hey, it's not the baby's fault, it's my fault. People try to give him some bread to eat. I mean, he's on the ground. Sackcloth and ashes. Asking for the Most High to give him forgiveness. And the Most High still had that baby die. Now, while we're on this walk, just like the apostles who were disciples at the time tried to cast out an unclean demon, they could not. And the Most High told them that thing, something to only be accomplished with prayer and fasting. Not always when you ask that you're going to always get it. So we fast and we ask the Most High to help us in this walk that we have so we can get past those things that we don't have enough strength to get past. So with that, that's the part we have on fasting. So let's read Matthew 17:21 real quick. And then after we do that, we're going to look at a couple of videos on fasting. And then we're going to start breaking down some of these diseases, what we call pestilence, that have taken hold of our temples. And that means the church, our bodies. Our body is the temple of the living Elohim. The Most High is supposed to be within us. So we're going to start looking at these temples. We're going to look at a couple of videos. And we're going to proceed with that. But Matthew 17:21 is a howbeit this kind goeth not out but prayer and fasting. So they were talking about an unclean spirit. And it could be alcoholism. It could be your lust to eat some swine. It could be your lust to have your temple filled with ho-hos and cupcakes and ice cream and cookies. It could be your lust for some meth. It could be some lust for some weed. It could be lust for some women. He said, howbeit this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting. So you might have to fast and pray on something 2 or 3 times to get the result you're looking for. But that's how it comes out of your body. That's how it gets and flees your spirit. So with that, that's our section on fasting. And now let's look at these videos, and then we'll start moving on to herbs and sea moths and different things that can help restore your temple the way the Most High wants your temple to be. All right, that's the end of part 2. Shalom.
3 of the most influential human beings in the history of the world all agreed on one thing. It's the most powerful natural healing solution ever. One that's been used by all cultures all over the world, and one that's virtually forgotten today. What am I talking about? Fasting. What is fasting? I can feel your eyes rolling in your head right now. I get this reaction all the time. You're going to starve people? That's your solution? No, that's not my solution. Fasting is not the same as starvation. Fasting is the controlled, voluntary abstinence of food for different reasons. You can do it for spiritual reasons. You can do it for health reasons. You can do it as a political protest. Any reason is still called fasting. It's not the same as starvation. In fact, if you look back through all of recorded human history, people have always fasted. We can start with Hippocrates, who is considered the father of modern medicine. He famously said, our food should be our medicine should be our food. But to eat when you are sick is to feed your sickness. What he's talking about is this idea that we have a fasting instinct. That is, it's something that we instinctually do. Think about when you get sick, when you have a cold, when you have a flu, whatever. The last thing you're thinking about is eating at a big buffet. It's something that naturally comes to us. Our bodies are designed to fast. They're designed to store food in times of availability and during times of scarcity to release it. And that's just what comes naturally to us. And it's not just us, but all animals have the same ability. So it's not something unnatural. It's not something that we're just trying to force on our bodies. This is something natural and good. Other people that liked fasting include Benjamin Franklin, who is world-renowned as one of the smartest men who had ever lived. What he said was very wise indeed. He said, the best of all medicines are resting and fasting. Well, that's very profound. Think about that for a second. Resting, which is freedom from stress, relaxation, and fasting, which is designed to cleanse the system, which is what it used to be called a cleanse or a purification. Well, those are the two best medicines. Not drugs, not surgery. Resting and fasting. Amazing. Mahatma Gandhi also said, a genuine fast cleanses the body, mind, and soul. Jesus Christ said, Satan and his plagues may be cast out only by fasting and by prayer. So if you look at the Christian faith, you can see that there are many, many prescribed periods of fasting all throughout the year. Yes, there are going to be times where you are going to be feasting, where you're going to be celebrating, and that's balanced by these periods where you're fasting to cleanse the body, to cleanse the soul. Buddhist monks also do the same sort of thing, but they do that on a daily basis. Very typically, they'll fast from noon until sunrise the next day. So every day there's a very prolonged period of fasting. In addition to that, they also have periods through the year where they'll only have water-only fasts, and that will help them cleanse themselves for the year. The Muslim faith is also very profound believers in fasting. The Prophet Muhammad said, fasting brings us to the door of his palace. Many people have heard of the holy month of Ramadan. During that period, Muslims will fast from sun up until sundown, every day for an entire month. All of these religions did not prescribe fasting to their believers because they wanted to harm them. In fact, it's something that's deeply intrinsically beneficial. And we know this from the science that there's so many benefits. Benefits for weight loss, benefits for insulin sensitivity and type 2 diabetes, for heart disease, for cancer, for liver disease, and also just to feel better, for mental clarity. There's so many amazing benefits. Everybody's always worried about fasting. They're always worried, well, can I really do it? Well, think about this for a second. Consider all these religions, Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, Mormons, all of these people. All of these people are fasting on a regular basis every year for their entire adult lives. So can you do it? Well, millions and millions and millions of people do it. There's no reason why you can't do it. So there's lots of people who will tell you not to fast. Who? Well, there's this guy, Ronald McDonald. He doesn't want you to fast. And this happy little mermaid, she doesn't want you to fast. They're not going to make any money, right? They need you to eat. There's profits, there's shareholders, right? In the end, you really got to ask yourself, when it comes to your health, to your well-being, who are you going to trust? Jesus Christ or Colonel Sanders?
Forget about intermittent fasting for just a minute while I talk about prolonged fasting. PF versus IF. Prolonged fasting is the unthinkable, the crazy, the thing that everyone would tell you you are absolutely nuts for doing. Fasting for 48 to 120 hours. But when I tell you the benefits and what it can do for your weight loss goals, for your fitness goals, for your immune system goals, for your overall health, I don't think you'll even look back. You see, prolonged fasting has some huge effects when it comes to boosting energy, has some huge effects when it comes to protecting your cells, has a humongous effect when it comes to actually reducing oxidative stress in the body. You see, consuming less calories means less oxidative stress to have to break down those foods, things like that. But I want to break down a little bit more than just the food side of things. I want to talk about what is happening inside your body. You see, when you're fasting, you're increasing your cellular resistance to toxins. Your body sort of goes into a protective state. You're not consuming a bunch of food, so your body sort of hunkers down and starts to protect its cells a lot more, just in case there could be an issue with you not getting more food in the near future. It actually starts to channel energy to protect cells even more. Now, what's the biggest difference between intermittent fasting and prolonged fasting, though? Biggest difference is complete glycogen exhaustion. What is glycogen? Glycogen are the carbohydrates that are stored in our muscles and in our liver. And normally when we do some intermittent fasting for like 12, 24 hours, we might exhaust the glycogen, the carbohydrates that are stored in our liver, but we're not exhausting the non-hepatic glycogen, the muscle glycogen. And when you start fasting for longer than 24 hours, that's when you start draining all the glycogen stores. And that's when your body starts using alternative fuel sources like free fatty acids, or starts using ketone bodies. Maybe you've heard of people talk about ketosis before. Well, the benefits of ketosis, you're using ketones. You feel good. Well, that same thing comes into effect when you are doing a prolonged fast. Now, when you think about it logically, it makes sense that we would actually have more energy when we're hungry. Why? Well, on the surface, we all think hunger equals tired. But think about it logically. Think about how the body's actually working in this case. You're hungry, so your body wants you to focus on getting food. So you have energy to get that food. Your brain has the energy to stay focused on getting food. That's why people say they experience so much focus and energy when they're fasting. But when we're satiated, when we actually get the food that we need, our body chills out. It got what it needed. It's a little spoiled brat. It's entitled. It got what it wanted. Now it kicks back and it doesn't worry about being focused and it doesn't worry about having energy anymore. Make sense? But all the benefits of prolonged fasting come from hormones. We want to stop thinking about the general calories and we want to start thinking about what's happening at a hormonal level. You see, when we fast, we produce some things that are really interesting. For one, we produce a lot of what is called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. BDNF sort of acts as brain fertilizer. It helps the brain grow. It helps brain cells grow. So when we're fasting, we essentially help our brain grow. Then we have some other things that happen. We have an increase in synaptic plasticity. What does that mean? Well, you see, the way our neurons work in our brain is they have synapses, and that's the connection between two neurons. If we have more synaptic plasticity, it means it's a more solidified connection, a closer bond between the two neurons that allow that synapse to be more effective, meaning the brain can communicate quite a bit better. Meaning the brain can communicate with other brain cells, but also the brain can communicate better with the body. Then of course, there's the increase in stress tolerance. I want you to think about this again from a very outside perspective. Think about being focused on getting food. You're hungry, you need to get food. Are you really going to be worried about what other people are thinking of you? Are you really going to be worried about making sure you check the mail today? No, you don't get bothered by normal stressful things because you're focused. You become a person on a mission going from point A to point B, which is why studies are showing that stress tolerance increases quite a bit when you're doing a prolonged fast. Of course, what you want to hear is the weight loss side of things, right? Well, when you're fasting, you have an increase in what is called adenopectin. Adenopectin is sort of a protein modulator that helps the body dictate what it's going to do with different energy sources. And there's usually an inverse relationship with fat and adenopectin. So what that means is high levels of adenopectin mean lower levels of body fat. Lower levels of adenopectin mean higher levels of body fat. So fasting increases our levels of adenopectin, which down the line, long term, not just during the period of fasting, can cause you to lose some weight, particularly lose some body fat. There's even been studies that are linking this with obesity, so that's pretty powerful right then and there. I've already talked a little bit about IGF and how fasting can lower it. But let me tell you this, a lot of muscle people will tell you that IGF is good because it's a precursor to growth hormone. And that's true. The thing is, IGF is not the end all be all. IGF increases our risk of cancer, but high levels of IGF in our bloodstream also cause premature aging. They are essentially what are leading us to age. So with prolonged fasting, we get these huge reductions of IGF. That allows us to essentially last longer and not age as quickly. So periods here and there of prolonged fast can have a huge effect on aging in general. Now the big one, the one I really want to share with you, and that is the reset on the immune system. Here's what's cool. If you fast for 3 or more days, white blood cells begin to die. Sounds bad, except for the fact that after 3 days and those white blood cells die, your body creates new white blood cells. That means new, fresh, reset white blood cells that are resetting your immune system, a whole new immune system that is new and can improve on different things in the body. That right there is enough to want to do this at least every couple of months. Now, how often should you prolong fast? And how often should you intermittent fast? Because I'm a fan of both. If you do a 12 to 24 hour intermittent fast once a week, you're in business. But if you do a prolonged fast, maybe once a quarter, maybe just semi-annually, even twice a year, you can get a huge effect. Your bang for the buck when it comes to fasting improves so much after 24 hours. You pound for pound get more per hour with a prolonged fast after 24 hours than you do with an intermittent fast. So it goes a long way. As always, make sure you hit that like button on this video. Make sure you subscribe so you can get more of these videos and get the true science of what's happening in your body. so that we stop just trusting everything that's out there, so we can start applying what is real with real research. We'll see you in the next video.
You recommend a particular like diet and fasting regimen?
Fasting is good. Very good. Fasting is good.
I won't.
Well, to me, I like to fast. Because when I fast, I'm better for her. Because I'm healthier. Like, my mother died the day I was coming here. I couldn't turn back because she wouldn't have liked that. So I said, I'm going to stop eating. But I ate last night with Linda. I'm not going to eat today. I'm not going to eat tomorrow. And when I get back, I told my wife, we're going to stop eating for about 2 months. Because it's good. 12 days is good. A good fast, stop eating for 12 days every year. And you drink plenty of water and juice. Water and juice and that green food plus. It's going to cost you $49.95, right? But you drink 3 in the morning. That's all you need. 3 capsules in the morning. And you go about your business. Because that's what I had today. And I have a lot of energy right now. Okay? You drink your water and your juice. And you drink your green food plus. What kind of water? Juice. Well, juice. I have tamarind juice in Honduras. But here you have to have apple juice. It's okay. It's not going to nourish you, but it's going to prevent you from going into some madness. And that's the way it happened to me and all of us. But that's okay. Everything is in divine order. But brother, yes, only fast for about 12 days a year.
What else is your meal like a day?
Okay, now about fasting. I put Lisa Lopez on a fast for 40 days and 40 nights. And I asked Lisa, what did you see? She said, I saw God. And you need healing, Dr. Sebi. I said, I know that. I was on a fast for 94 days. I saw things too. Because your brain is clear. So you see, fasting is good. For all of you. For everything that you could think of. Remember the boy from Chicago, the little white boy went to Australia and he was walking for 30 days and they found him and he was angry. Why? He was feeling so good. He had not eaten in 30 days. And when I was impotent, I asked my healer. I said, hey, hold it, fella. You know, I'm impotent. I'm under 30. I want to know how come I have to start eating when I got to eat my protein. Got to get my eggs. He said, look, when you stop eating, all that fat that clogged your penis and your prostate gland, all that fat is going to get the opportunity to drain out. When will I see that? I don't know when, but it will be happening before 90 days. The first week, the second week, my asthma began to subside. On the 27th day, my diabetes left. On the 57th day, I woke up to this. Now, I could not process this because in the barbershop in Honduras, when I was 9 and 10 and 15, the man used to say, you gotta eat a lot of eggs, you gotta drink a lot of wine, eat meat. And that was the very thing that made me impotent. So yes, fasting gonna heal every part of you that you need to be healed. But right now, this
all praise to the Most High. Now, the section we're gonna do now is straight on healing. It's how to get your temple and your body healed from some of the diseases that may be afflicting it. Be it be diabetes, cancer, or just unclean spirit that may be dwelling in you on a daily basis. So the first thing we're going to tackle is diabetes. We're going to look at some things that will help you get healed, stop being what they quote unquote call a diabetic. And first things is your diet. Probably heard it 1,000 times, especially if you're afflicted with it. You got to learn how to eat right. And that means stop eating poison. It's as simple and as plain as that. If you stop, you got a better chance of defeating the diabetic curse. So if you do that, things will be well. We're going to break down some foods that will help you and some herbs that will help you with diabetes. So without further ado, this whole section right now is healing and the healing of diabetes. Shalom.
Bitter melon fruit or ampalaya. Eating bitter melon fruit raw will give you the nutrients to allow you to overcome diabetes type 2. It gives you the nutrients that you need. How to eat bitter melon? Well, just break off a piece and eat it. Turo mo lang sa akin. See? Just like that. No complications.
If you have never heard of bitter melon before, you are not alone. It is also known as Goya, but in this country, sugar is king and anything described as being bitter is quickly passed over. There are many health benefits of this gourd that is grown in Asia, the Caribbean, and Africa. When you find out what it can do, you may want to consider at least taking a supplement, if you really can't take anything that is not a sweet treat. Here are 11 areas of health that bitter melon can help improve. 1. Diabetes. Eating bitter melon can help lower your blood glucose levels, if you already have type 2 diabetes, or even prevent it if it runs in your family. A study that was conducted in 2011 showed that consuming 2,000 milligrams of this melon every day lowered the fructosamine levels in participants. It also helped to reduce insulin resistance for those with type 1 and type 2 diabetes. It is recommended that you do not stop taking your diabetic medication before you consult your doctor. 2. Prevents osteoporosis. Bitter melon consists of calcium and plenty of vitamin K, both of which are important for healthy bones. It has been found to reduce your chances of getting osteoporosis as well. The vitamin K also serves as an anti-inflammatory and can ease the pain generated by arthritis. 3. Vision health. One thing bitter melon has going for it is that it can provide about a third of the recommended daily dose of vitamin A. This vitamin is recognized for its proven effectiveness it has on the health of your vision. It can improve your eyes as you age, reduce the progress of macular degeneration, and help with your night vision. 4. Liver health. Drinking 1 cup of juice from a bitter melon every day can help detoxify your liver, reduce your level of fluids, and aid in the function of your gallbladder. The hepatic qualities that a bitter melon contains helps your liver filter through the impurities in your body, clean the impurities, and rid your body of the toxins that can be harmful to your liver. 5. Inflammation. Its properties as an anti-inflammatory already help bitter melon relieve chronic pain. Chinese medicine cites bitter melon, and other bitter foods, in removing unnecessary heat in the body. The resulting cooling feeling can help to calm the heart as well as cut down on feelings of anger. 6. Kills cancer. A study that was conducted at the University of Colorado proved that the juice of the bitter melon was able to kill the cells of pancreatic cancer. The growth of the tumors were reduced by 60%. The best part is there were no negative side effects from this treatment. Traditional treatments, such as radiation and chemotherapy, leave the body tired and weak as well as leaving the patient nauseous, and usually with a complete loss of hair. 7. Weight loss. The bitter melon doesn't have very many calories in it, but it does deliver important vitamins and nutrients. It has been shown to rid the body of excess fatty tissue. As it does with type 2 diabetes, the juice of the bitter melon helps with insulin resistance and blood glucose levels. Both of those things help your body from storing sugar and will help you to lose weight. 8. Boosts immune system. When you increase your intake of bitter melon juice and fruit, you will be helping to improve your immune system. When your immune system is strong, it will help prevent you from getting every single cold or illness that goes around. If you do end up catching a cold, your stronger immune system will help you get over it much quicker. 9. Kidney stones. Kidney stones are a painful condition that occur when your body chemistry is too acidic. Gritty little stones accumulate, and are difficult to pass, often requiring a special procedure to break them down so they can be urinated out of your body. The bitter melon helps to break down the kidney stones and helps to cut down on the acid that created the stones in the first place. 10. Reduces cholesterol. The juice of the bitter melon has been proven to reduce high cholesterol levels. When you have high cholesterol, you are leaving yourself open to heart disease, the chance of having a heart attack, and the chances of having a stroke. 11. Purifies blood. If you drink a glass of bitter melon juice with a squeeze of fresh lemon juice in it every day for 6 months, you will feel and look better than you have in a long time. Your blood will be purified and your skin will be radiant. How to use bitter melon. Healthy adults should not exceed 2 ounces of bitter melon a day. Larger quantities will cause abdominal pain and diarrhea. Children under 18, pregnant women and people taking insulin or hypoglycemic medication should not use bitter melon unless under strict medical supervision. Ingredients: 1 bitter melon, 3 apples, 2 celery stalks, 1 cucumber, 1 lemon. You can find bitter melon in most Asian or health food markets. Instructions: 1. Wash produce well. 2. Cut the bitter melon in length side to scoop out seeds and flesh. 3. Decore apples. 4. Chop ingredients, making sure to leave the peel intact. 5. Add salt and honey to taste. 6. Juice and enjoy.
Hey guys, Dr. Axe here, founder of DrAxe.com and Doctor of Natural Medicine. In this video, I'll be training you on the top benefits of milk thistle and how to use it and the best forms to use it in, all as part of this training video. And really, milk thistle is an incredible herb / weed that's been shown to detoxify the body. It's also been shown to benefit and fight diabetes, cancer, neurological illness, liver disease, and a whole lot more, as you're about to see. So first, let's cover what is it, and then I'm going to go over exactly how to use it. First thing, it's a natural herb that has antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties. We know antioxidants protect the body. We know that also reducing inflammation helps fight disease. In fact, listen to this. Most diseases are inflammatory in nature. Rheumatoid arthritis is inflammation of your joints. Ulcerative colitis is inflammation of your colon. Anything with an itis at the end in Latin means inflammation. Milk thistle reduces inflammation. Another unique fact about milk thistles is that it grows mostly in warm climates throughout North America. And so actually it's grown in the largest amounts in California. That tends to be where it's harvested and then turned into supplements. But also I know throughout the Midwest, throughout the South, in fact, in my home state of Tennessee, milk thistle grows all over the place. And a lot of people don't realize, but it's actually a weed, but it's medicine at the same time. So another great thing about milk thistle is it actually contains a compound called silymarin, and this compound has been shown to detoxify the liver. Now think about all the toxins you're exposed to on a daily basis, from pesticides in our food supply, hormones in our food supply, radiation from airplanes, cell phones, computer screens, phone screens. We are bombarded with toxins and environmental pollutants every single day. The good news is that milk thistle helps detoxify your liver, which is something really everybody needs. Another thing you need to know about milk thistle is that it's typically turned into an extract in a powder, okay? So most of the time it's taken in capsule form. Sometimes you can also take it in liquid form. But again, the benefits of milk thistle, one here as well, is that it actually helps with regeneration in the body. So cellular regeneration, an incredible benefit there. So the first big benefit of milk thistle is, again, it supports detoxification on the liver, and your liver needs all the help it can get, as we talked about, from environmental pollutants and the chemicals in our food supply. Also, it's powerful at cancer prevention. In fact, listen to this. In one medical study, actually, it was shown to help regenerate the liver. Absolutely incredible. We know that a lot of cancer today is caused by toxicity. So milk thistle, by detoxing the body it helps prevent cancer, and also by acting as an antioxidant, it protects the body against cancer. Third big benefit is it controls diabetes. You know, the rates of diabetes are soaring, both type 2, type 1, and oftentimes referred to as type 3 diabetes with dementia and Alzheimer's disease. But we know that we want to keep insulin balanced in the body, and if insulin gets imbalanced, it can cause fatigue, it can cause weight gain and body fat storage. In order to combat that, you want to take milk thistle every single day. And the typical recommended dose is 150 milligrams once to twice daily of milk thistle. But again, in clinical studies, it's been shown to help balance diabetes. Also, again, in using it, you typically want to take it in supplement form. Again, 150 milligrams a day. Capsules or tablets are both great, or liquid form. And again, you want to look for one where it says it has a certain amount of silymarin, which is the active compound that's so beneficial in milk thistle. Now, you can also take it in tea form, and this is one of my favorite ways to get milk thistle in my diet. Now, you can actually buy the tops here. You'll see milk thistle typically has a bright purple leaf as its head, and you can actually boil it in water, or you can just get bags of tea and drink that throughout the day. Now, I love making a detox tea where I mix milk thistle tea along with a little bit of lemon juice. You can also add in some other detoxifying herbs such as artichoke or bupleurum, which are famous in Chinese medicine. Dandelion also works, and make a full-on detox tea is great for your health. So remember these big benefits of milk thistle. Number 1, liver detoxification. Number 2, cancer prevention. Number 3, helps control diabetes. The best forms are in a capsule form or a tea form, and you want to take 150 milligrams once to twice daily. And by doing so, you're protecting your body, you're cleansing and regenerating your liver, and it's going to help take your health to the next level here as well. By the way, if you've enjoyed this live training video, make sure to subscribe here to my YouTube channel. Also, hey, if you want to learn more about milk thistle, just Google search my name. I've got a really advanced article on this. So Google online, Dr. Axe milk thistle, and you'll find some more information there about the powerful benefits of milk thistle and how to get it into your diet. Hi, Dr. Axe here. I want to say thanks so much for checking out this YouTube video, and also don't forget to subscribe if you want to get more great content on things like herbs, essential oils, natural remedies, and how to use food as medicine. Also, check out more of our content on my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.
Balanced living in a busy world is a challenge for all of us. Life is constantly on the fast track, and it's hard to keep up with the rapid changes around us. Not only are we constantly battling the rigors of modern living, we also indulge in unhealthy dietary habits without considering the side effects and damage they can cause to our body. Our modern lifestyle, which includes high stress levels, poor diet, excessive alcohol, medication, poor water quality, processed fast food, exposure to hazardous pollutants like pesticides and herbicides, and inappropriate rest put a lot of stress on our liver, which can lead to liver problems. Our liver is the second largest organ in the body. It metabolizes carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. It extracts nutrients such as iron and vitamin A, B12, and D from the bloodstream and stores them for future use. The liver also regulates blood clotting and detoxifies the blood by filtering toxins such as drugs, hormones, microbes, and alcohol. Even if you lead a healthy lifestyle and practice good eating habits, your liver still undergoes subtle trauma every day due to the air pollution in the environment we live in. The Environmental Protection Agency of the United States estimates almost 6 trillion pounds of chemicals are released into the environment each year. Some of these inevitably make their way into your bodies via the air you breathe, the food you eat, and the water you drink. As your body's primary organ for detoxification, the liver processes everything you eat, drink, or inhale. Your liver is the only internal organ that can regenerate itself after injury. But with daily exposure to harmful chemicals like these, even its restorative powers can be overwhelmed. If your liver is unhealthy, You could suffer from typical symptoms of liver problems, such as extreme tiredness, a feeling of general poor health, weight loss, loss of appetite, nausea and vomiting, fever, abdominal pain, itchy skin, and an enlarged or tender liver. Jaundice may also develop. A poor liver is also more susceptible to hepatitis A, B, and C virus infection, and the probability of liver cancer increases. In fact, liver cancer is one of the top 5 common cancers among Malaysian males, and most sufferers acquire it through hepatitis B. In order to avoid these problems, you need to adopt a healthy lifestyle. After all, creating a good and healthy life is in your hands. It's something you can cultivate. Some of the small but powerful changes you can make to your life include going for a diet that has lots of vegetables, fruit, beans, and whole wheat cereals, and is low in fat. Drinking plenty of clean water. Avoiding or limiting alcohol consumption and exposure to environmental toxins. Incorporating antioxidants such as vitamin A, C, and E into your daily diet. Apart from adopting these healthy habits, there are also natural herbs that you can take to protect your liver. One such herbal remedy that has been known in Europe and other Mediterranean countries since ancient times is milk thistle. It is a recognized natural supplement that can prevent liver damage. It is effective in managing chronic liver diseases and in protecting the liver from toxic chemicals, alcohol, drugs, and chemotherapy. Milk thistle has been used in Europe to treat liver problems for thousands of years. In modern-day research, milk thistle has been proven to protect the liver from damage. The detrimental effects of environmental toxins, alcohol, and drugs may be countered with this valuable herb. This is largely due to the active chemical components in the herb that are collectively called silymarin. Silymarin has the ability to stimulate the growth of new liver cells to replace old damaged cells. It can also prevent free radical damage by acting as an antioxidant. In fact, silymarin is at least 10 times more potent in antioxidant activity than vitamin E. Milk thistle nutritionally supports the liver's ability to maintain normal liver function. It has shown positive effects in treating nearly every known form of liver disease. These include cirrhosis, which is the scarring of the liver, hepatitis, which means inflammation of the liver, necrosis, and liver damage due to drug and alcohol abuse. Apart from preventing liver damage, milk thistle can also stimulate the production of new liver cells to replace old damaged ones. It also blocks the absorption of toxins into the cells and stimulates the secretion of bile, a substance that helps carry away wastes and is needed for the breakdown and absorption of dietary fats. It is essential that the milk thistle extract you choose for your liver's health provides you with a minimum amount of silymarin in each dose. Dandelion has been for centuries used to treat liver conditions such as jaundice and hepatitis, and to encourage normal digestion. It also has a high concentrate of vitamin A and choline, a B vitamin that stimulates the liver. Turmeric, which supports liver and gallbladder functions by stimulating the flow of bile. It is also high in vitamin C, an important antioxidant. These natural ingredients respond very effectively to our body, providing the supplement that supports and enhances our daily health. It is never too late to begin the process of taking greater control of your health. Make the smart choice with milk thistle and dandelion, a convenient mix of natural herbs that support our liver. If you want to make big changes in your life, start by making small ones. They can really matter and last. The above information is brought to you by Nutrilite, best of nature, best of science.
What is turmeric good for? 10 turmeric health benefits. Lots of people use the turmeric herb in their cooking. The main signs of turmeric are its pepper-like smell, sharp taste, and golden color. Turmeric is known to stop swelling, kill bacteria and viruses, as well as many other things. It is also full of nutrients like protein, dietary fiber, niacin, vitamins C, E, and K, calcium, potassium, copper, iron, magnesium, and zinc. Because of this, turmeric is a great thing to use to cure health problems. Here are the top 10 things turmeric can be used for. 1. Prevents cancer. Turmeric can block prostate cancer and even kill cancer cells. It can also stop tumor cells from growing, so it can guard the body from getting cancer in the first place. 2. Relieves arthritis. Because turmeric brings down swelling, it's great to use for osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. It also kills germs that harm body cells. People with rheumatoid arthritis who eat turmeric all the time have gotten much rest from pain and joint swelling. 3. Controls diabetes. Turmeric can help cure diabetes by keeping insulin at normal levels. It also helps with sugar control and makes the medicine used for diabetes work. But if used with strong medicines, turmeric can cause low blood sugar, so make sure to ask your doctor before you take turmeric capsules. 4. Reduces cholesterol levels. Using turmeric as a spice can bring down cholesterol levels. Because high cholesterol can cause other health problems, it is important to stay on top of it to stop heart disease. 5. Immunity booster. Turmeric helps keep the body's immune system going. It also helps strengthen the immune system because it kills bacteria, viruses, and fungi. This stops you from getting colds, coughs, and the flu. To help you feel better if you do get sick, mix 1 teaspoon of turmeric in a glass of warm milk and drink it once a day. 6. Heals wounds. Because turmeric naturally kills germs and bacteria, it can be used to clean wounds. If you have a cut or burn, sprinkle some turmeric powder on it to help it heal quicker. It can also help treat psoriasis, itchy, dead skin, and other skin conditions. 7. Weight management. Turmeric powder can help keep the body at a proper weight by helping break down fat. Someone who wants to lose weight or treat obesity and sicknesses that come with it can have 1 teaspoon of turmeric with every meal. 8. Prevents Alzheimer's disease. Swelling of the brain is one of the main reasons for cognitive disorders, like Alzheimer's disease. Turmeric can keep the brain healthy by helping oxygen flow. This can also slow down or totally stop Alzheimer's disease. 9. Improves digestion. Turmeric can help with digestion by lessening bloating and gas. It can also help treat inflammatory bowel disease. But be careful, because if you suffer from a gallbladder disease, you should not take turmeric, as that can make it worse. Also, if you have a digestive problem, it is best to eat raw turmeric and not capsules. 10. Prevents liver disease. Turmeric is a natural way to force poisons from the liver. The liver takes poison out of the blood, and turmeric helps make the enzymes that keep it working. It also helps strengthen and better blood flow. All of this helps to keep the liver healthy. Because of all the ways turmeric can help your health, adding this herb to your diet is a great idea. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you want more recipes and tips, subscribe to the channel.
Cinnamon, the wonder spice, a lesson on its health benefits and why it is important to you on your road to a new body. Cinnamon in tea helps reduce the fats in your intestines after eating. Lowers cholesterol. Half a teaspoon of cinnamon daily can lower your cholesterol. It may also lower LDL bad cholesterol, triglycerides, which are fatty acids in the blood, and total cholesterol. Treats type 2 diabetes by reducing blood sugar levels. As little as a half a teaspoon per day of cinnamon can improve sensitivity and blood glucose. In weight control, it can improve insulin resistance. Also decreases the risk of heart disease. reduces arthritis pain. It contains anti-inflammatory compounds which can reduce pain, inflammation, and stiff joints. Joan bars contain cinnamon. Digestive tract. Cinnamon is helpful in removing gas from the stomach and intestines. It also removes acidity and is referred to as a digestive tonic. Anti-clotting help. A compound found in cinnamon prevents unwanted clumping of blood platelets. If platelets clump together, they can slow the blood flow. It's a brain tonic. It helps by removing nervous tension and memory loss. Cinnamon raises the activity of the brain, acting as a good brain tonic, increases one's alertness and concentration. Food preserver. When added to food, it prevents bacterial growth and food spoilage, making it a natural food preservative. We also use it in the Joan bars recipe. It's a diuretic, reduces urinary tract infections, is a diuretic and helps in secretion and discharge of urine and fats in the blood. You lose the weight through your urine. Improves blood circulation. It is a blood thinning agent which acts to increase circulation. It helps reduce pain. Ensures oxygen supply to the body cells, leading to higher metabolic activity, meaning it helps in weight loss. Sprinkle it on your oatmeal. In your tea after dinner, it will do wonders for your digestive tract and immune system. It also has anti-aging properties. Health benefits of cinnamon. It can be used to improve one's health and boost one's immune system. We at the Saturday Morning Diet use it in our oatmeal for breakfast and after meals to reduce the fat in our diet and lose the weight. A word of caution, taking too much cinnamon may be unwise. People taking prescribed drugs to manage their blood sugar should not reduce or discontinue their dose and take cinnamon instead. Lastly, it is not recommended for
Exodus 15, verse 26, and said, if thou wilt diligently hearken to the voice of Yah, thy Elohim, and will do that which is right in his sight, and will give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of these diseases upon thee, which I have brought upon the Egyptians, for I am Yah that healeth thee. So when we're looking at being healed from our Creator, from the Most High, we are looking at the disease diabetes, as well as diabetes. Some of these herbs we're talking about will also help you with cancer and other ailments that afflict our bodies. The herb milk thistle. Milk thistle is an herb that you can use in combination with the licorice root, dandelion root, cinnamon, as well as bitter melon. The best way to put these herbs in effect is get that most natural source that you can. Pray to the Most High. If you can start off by fasting, even up to 1 day, 3 days is good, 5 days is better. The longer, the stronger. And after you get past these days of fasting, putting these herbs into effect, the liver and pancreas work hand in hand, and these things will bring healing and a cure to your body when it comes to this affliction of diabetes. Now, with that being said, Exodus 23, verses 24 and 25. Thou shalt not bow down to their Elohim, nor serve them, nor do after their works, but thou shalt utterly overthrow them, and quite break down their images. And ye shall serve Yah your Elohim, and he shall bless thy bread and thy water, and will take sickness away from the midst of thee. So while you're on this walk, turning back to the Most High, as you serving other Elohims, the Christmas, Thanksgiving, all those things that bring uncleanness into your temple, turning back to the Most High will bring the cleanness back to your temple. So with this being the case, now we're going to look at things that bring overall health to the Hebrew Israelite. Vitamin D, some water, with all praises to the Most High, will proceed with getting that temple healed. Shalom.